As you might know, I'm a big theater of the mind kind of guy when I play tabletop RPGs at my table physically. But when I play a tabletop RPG on a virtual tabletop, I'm actually a big fan of maps, especially phased maps. And especially as a player, I absolutely love it when a battle map looks insanely beautiful and then it changes during an encounter, giving you extra stuff to think about as a player. Maybe something is on fire or something is trying to eat you while you're battling another monster. And when Domiles Wondrous Works sent me an email with her battle maps, I was completely blown away. Hi there fellow roleplayers and game masters, my name is Mr. Tarask and today is a sponsored video because Elena Lasker, the person behind Domiles Wondrous Works, sent me an email asking me if they could sponsor this video in order for me to show her content to you. And I can already say that this might be the best Black Friday deal you'll find for tabletop RPGs this year. Especially if you're into battle maps, especially if you're into virtual tabletop battle maps, especially if you're into phased battle maps. Now, before we go into it, quick disclaimer, I get sent a lot of emails asking me to do a sponsored video, and I say no to more emails than I say yes to emails because I want my content on my channel to be honest, and I only want to talk about stuff that I find really, really cool and that I think is worth your well-earned cash. So without further ado, let's get into it. And yes, you read that correctly in the title or the thumbnail of this video or wherever, that you get a free sample. Well, it is not a sample, it's actually a big-ass folder with some really awesome stuff that you can just download by clicking the link in the description below. So even before you see me talk about this product, you can see for yourself. Now, before we take a deeper look and a deeper dive into what Domiles Wondrous Works has actually created and why I think it's absolutely insane and worth your money, I want to quickly talk about what it actually is. And as you can see, it is a Patreon account where you can sign up for these battle maps, but there is much more to it. There is like, they create encounters for the battle maps. They create like battle maps you can put on the table, but also in a virtual tabletop. They're phased, so there's always like 3, 4, sometimes 5 phases to a battle map, all of that stuff. There are, like, as you can see here, there's just battle maps that aren't really phased, but they are animated battle maps where you can just, like, put your tokens here and you have like this really atmospheric thing going on, and all of this is incredibly high quality. So the Black Friday Cyber Monday thing that I want to talk about quickly, whatever day they come up with, because I really am always like completely overwhelmed with these days and these discounts because I have like 16 hobbies and all of these hobbies are sending me emails about discounts and stuff, but this one really sticks out to me. So there is a platinum tier, there's also a diamond tier, but I'm not talking about this one right now. So there is a gem tier, a gold tier, and a platinum tier. And with the platinum tier, you pay €6 normally per paid release, so per map pack. And normally there's around 4 paid releases per month. So there's 2 things that Domiles Wondrous Works is doing for that. First of all, they're doing 50% discount on this one. So if you want to sign up for this one in this week alone, you can do so for €3 per map pack. So you will be paying €3 per map pack as long as you're signed up. That's the way I'm seeing it. And then there will also be a new tier here, which I'm not seeing right now yet because it's not activated when I'm recording this video yet, but it will be when I'm recording this video, so make sure to click the link in the description below, and it will be called Fuck Inflation. Basically what that does is, the way I understand it, is if the prices of this will ever go up, if you signed up for the Fuck Inflation one, it will not go up as long as you stay signed up. So if you sign up in this week and then stay signed into that one, you will have that price, I don't know, for the rest of Domiles Wondrous Works' life, basically. So that is what the Black Friday deal is all about. So €3 per paid release. So let's take a quick look at what of some of these paid releases actually are and why I think they completely blew my mind. Now, before we go to the bread and butter of this Patreon, which is the phased battle maps that look really cool, have awesome music, have awesome sound effects, I want to talk about some of the static maps that you can also download for yourself via the free pack for Mr. T pack that you can download via the link in the description below. Let's talk about this one first. I think this one is really generic in a good way, meaning that this is the true plug and play content that I always talk about on my channel. I love having stuff on my hard drive, printed out, whatever, on my shelf, that I can actually take from the shelf or take from a hard drive and use for multiple things. I mean, this is called Fey Forest Pond, but this could be a portal, this could be a wishing well, this could be, I don't know, something you pee in and then it spawns a Hydra right here. I don't know, it could be a puzzle, anything. If your players are in around a forest area, I don't know, the old Margrave from Cobalt Press or whatever, you can plug and play that into your campaign, especially when you're playing virtual tabletops, and I absolutely love that kind of stuff. It's the same thing with this one. This one is a simple bridge crossing, and again, you can use this for multiple things, for, I don't know, kobolds trying to ambush the party, or a freaking, I don't know, old bear eating away at a corpse right here, and your players are right here, and there's like, oh, let's just pass right here and go to the right and ignore the old bear and see if it doesn't see us, or just somebody falls into the water and gets dragged away by the water and then ends up here, right here. So this is called the Secret Lair. Now, this reminds me more, in a good way, of Rivendell in the Lord of the Rings series. Like Rivendell, there is a scene where they're like captive. That's the word, right? In Rivendell, and this really reminds me of it. It's probably because of the curved edges of the stairs and then the river going through it, but it really reminds me of that. And it is, again, one of those things, if you ever need a dungeon, if you ever need a prison, if you ever need a lair, if you ever need something, plug it in there and you can play it. Now, something that I need to say about this is that if you are a Patreon supporter of this, every download comes with like all of the virtual tabletop, all of the faced stuff, everything basically you need, and also the entire backwards, like the entire collection that they ever created is available to you as soon as you sign up. Now let's talk about the phased maps real quickly. Now there's two different things in the folder via the link in the description below that you can download for yourself completely for free. There's phased maps like this one, which is basically 4 versions of the same map. And then there are actually animated phased maps that come with music and sound effects that I think are really cool. So this one, for example, just to give you another example, it's kind of like this, it's called a shrine at dawn or something like that, which is basically like a patio, whatever thingy, where you can go up to something and have a romantic night. I don't know, there is a fountain here or whatever, and all the map does basically is just the light increases, the light increases again, and the light increases again. Now this can be really cool for those timed moments in your tabletop RPG game when you are basically your players need to do something here, but the light starts increasing every time, and you can just increase the light as a GM, just to not per se as a game mechanic, because most of the time as a GM we will only like have the time bomb explode only when it narratively has to explode. Don't tell the players, of course, but to more give the players like the feeling that the time bomb, so to speak, of course, can explode and is about to explode. And then in the last part, you can have like this major light that might even do damage or whatever. I just wanted to show you this real quickly because I thought it was really, really beautiful. And then the last thing I want to talk about is this one. This is one of the animated maps that also comes in the free package that you can download, link in the description below. And this is of a library. Now this is phase 1, and as you can hear, it plays some really cool background, atmospheric background music, just to set the tone of it being a little bit of an arcane, maybe even library. Just people reading books and hanging around. There's candles on the tables and all of that stuff. And then phase 2 happens. And in phase 2, there is a fire, and now you can clearly hear like the fire burning. This might be a little bit too loud, even the fire burning in the background, and you can even hear people screaming and running around and all of that stuff. And I really think these effects, this fire effect and all that stuff, is really cool, because the map in phase 3 again changes again into like the fire is still going. I love how they had like phase 2 and then not immediately jump to phase 4 where the building is completely burned to the ground. Now they even have that like that middle phase of the building being completely torn apart, and the fire has spread to like all of the parts where you might be able to escape. So all of the people trapped inside here are basically completely and utterly fucked, which I think is a really cool detail. Like the stairs here are yeah, they're not, you cannot penetrate this, you cannot penetrate that without taking like a shit ton of damage. This could be something that's really cool for like a, and here by the way, the library is completely destroyed. There's still like parts of it smoking, but like all the books are gone and all of that stuff. And there is some sad music again. But I like where this like really gives me an idea of opening a campaign with like the players coming up to a library that is on fire and there are still people inside. And maybe even the wizard of the party knows that there's a very important arcane tome in that library that is really important to like the quest or the mission, and they might want to run in and grab that book or that tome, and the others might want to run in and be the hero of the day by saving some people. I don't know. This just gives me like a shit ton of ideas, and I absolutely love it. And that's it for Domiles Wondrous Works. Now there's one very important thing I want to add to this. If you're using Foundry virtual tabletops and you take the platinum tier, some of the stuff you get are actually built for Foundry virtual tabletop, where you can really easily switch between all of the layers of the maps and all of that stuff. So you as a dungeon master don't have to like drag and drop and everything in and do all this micromanaging. You just drop that in your virtual tabletop and you can do the thingy and do the magic. Other than that, check it out for yourself. Click the link in the description below and consider becoming a supporter on the Patreon page for 50% off, or take the fuck inflation tier, whatever you want. And again, thank you so much for Domiles Wondrous Works for sponsoring this video, giving me the opportunity to continue my channel and doing what I'm doing, and giving my viewers the opportunity to see these awesome phased battle maps that you're creating. Until next video, bye-bye.